Hi guys, I have the Dell Venue Pro here, and I picked this up yesterday at the Microsoft store. Seems like I was one of only a few to be able to pick this guy up, but I've been waiting for it for a very long time, and I got there early and grabbed one. So, I'd like to tell you about what I think of it after a day, and talk about maybe some of the concerns people are having with Wi-Fi and engineering samples, battery life, screen, the glass, things like that. First of all, I think that the build quality of the phone is excellent, with the exception of the back cover. I don't feel like it's poor. It's not metal, which isn't a big deal to me, but it's plastic. It's not very thick, but it has zero give to it. And this Dell logo, which may look like metal, is just plastic. So other than that, I mean, the build quality is really solid. It has some heft to it. It feels really good. It doesn't feel loose. I can't really wiggle it for the slider keyboard. So overall build quality is great. An exceptional product here. I'd like to talk about the Gorilla Glass. So far I haven't tested it for scratches, and I don't think I will be doing that. Not that I don't trust it, I just don't want to even go there. Some people thought that the screen may distort the actual view of the Windows Phone 7 or anything with the curvature, but you can't even tell. It's actually really hard to tell that it's even curved. It's very subtle. It doesn't affect the picture quality in any way at all. It is somewhat of a fingerprint magnet. But, you kind of expect that with these, phones that have large screens like this. It feels good in my hand. I think for me, my hands are not super large, but they're not tiny. And it fits perfect in my hand, I think. So, when the keyboard's out, it's a little long. But for me, I'm holding it down this way anyway, and it's not that big of a deal at all. I'd also like to talk about some issues that people are having with engineer samples and Wi-Fi, but before I get to that, I'd just like to mention something about the speakers. In one of the videos, a Dell representative boasted a little bit about how good the speakers sound, and there's left and right here. It looks like stereo, it might be, I don't know what the specs are, but I was a little disappointed in how they sounded. It's not that they sounded poor by any means, but it just sounded like the sound was getting trapped inside the phone a little bit, and it wasn't really coming out as clear as it should. It sounded a bit hollow. The phone does vibrate a bit when you're playing music, and it's not necessarily a thing that everyone will do is play music without the headphones in, because with the headphones in, it sounds great. It comes with some earbuds that fit very snug. So, I just wanted to mention that. Also, the bottom is a nice type of, it's like rubber. So you can't really scratch it when you're trying to put the charger into the micro USB. The top is also rubber. Oh, and this power button, some people are concerned about it. They say it might be too small. I initially thought it was small, and because it's the surface is curved like that it would be hard to grab it. When I first, got the phone, it was hard to grab it, and I'd accidentally slide the phone up a little bit by trying to do it. But after a day, you really get used to the spot, and you can easily, lock it, unlock it, or turn it off. One problem that I have with the phone is not with the OS. It's not with, any glitches in the hardware or anything. That's actually not really a problem. Some people would have a problem with it. It's the only thing I can really find fault with the phone, but I don't know if you can see it or not. It's probably too bright, but if I were to, say, hit back or use the capacitive buttons, what happens is a backlight in the back of it lights them up, and it's not very bright, that's not the problem. The problem is you're going to have bleeding through this little area right here, and on the other side right there. It's very subtle, but in a really dark room or outside at night, you will see it. When I first noticed it, I was like, well, I'm surprised that they didn't insulate this area more with something to block out the light. But you can see a little bit of bleeding on the bottom, and on the top it lights up. And I'm not sure why it lights up at the top, but you'll see a little bit of bleeding on the corners. Nothing too dramatic. It's not going to make people, you really can't notice it unless you touch it and you're like, well, wait a minute, what's that? But I just thought I'd mention it for those who, are really picky about things about their phone. As for the Wi-Fi issues, I guess I'm fortunate enough not to have any problem at all. As you can see, I am connected to my Netgear, and that is a secure network that's WPA password protected. So, and there's that's my neighbors. I don't want to go on that quest. Quest is horrible. So, battery life on the phone. I've been using this phone since about 8 this morning off the charger, and I will tell you that it is great. So far, I've did moderate use, web browsing and texting, and I've been messing around with the camera and Zune a lot. So, other than that, I can't really say whether or not, a couple hours here and there, exactly how long it'll last. But I'd say for sure that it would last a full day. With moderate use. I don't know about video games. I haven't played any on this thing. I'm not really interested in playing games for hours and hours. But I think it would still last a full day with moderate use. So if you just used it for texting and internet here and there, you would probably get easily a day and a half, 2 days without having to charge it. Mine is not an engineering sample battery or phone. I guess maybe I'm lucky again on that. But I just thought I'd give you guys a nice little review of what I thought of the phone. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down at the bottom, and I'll try to answer it if I can.